All right, officially, I just want to welcome everyone to today's webinar. This is the African Discipline Agile Meetup. We meet every month and bring knowledge and new ideas from the world of Agile to the community, and it's been a growing community, and it's been great since we started. So who are we? Let's start with why, right? We are a group of committed Agile enthusiasts that are committed to promoting the real value of Agile. Not only Agile, plus lean practices as well. We kind of base it on the freedom that discipline Agile promises. But that does not mean we do not talk about other frameworks, because under the big umbrella of Agile, we have several frameworks: Scrum, Lean, Kanban. We have Lean Startup, we have human-centered design, and so on and so forth. So we kind of target individuals and organizations in Africa with an interest to develop their Agile and Lean practices. And so it's up to us to continue to invite our friends, colleagues, and acquaintances so that they can be part of these as well. This also includes information around what Discipline Agile Toolkit is. This is brought to you by Pitloring Consulting. That's the organization I work with, and we show up every month, at least once a month. That's the third Wednesday of every month. We are here bringing thought leaders across the world to give us insight, or to bring to us insight around what it takes to excel in the Agile world. So today, we'll actually be looking at setting up ourselves for success in the Agile world. And I'm going to be your facilitator today. I am also going to introduce myself when I start the presentation in earnest. So that's just more like the introduction for today. I'll go ahead and start the pack for today. All right. So how do we pivot into the Agile world? Right? That is what we want to talk about today. Please, if you can mute yourself, that will be good as you are joining, so that we can have a good session tonight or this morning, wherever you're joining from. So first of all, I bring you greetings from down under Australia. And so it's good to be back in 2023 to talk about, this topic that is very, very close to my heart: setting up yourself for success in Agile, or in the Agile world. My name is Peter Motoshow. I work for an organization called Pitloring Consulting, and we are an authorized training partner with PMI. We'll talk more about that later on. Okay, so let's go straight into today, because we want to be out of here as soon as possible, if possible earlier than I want to be out of here in the next 45 minutes, if possible. Okay, so a little bit about me. I lead Agile transformation in large organizations across the world, particularly here in Australia, where I reside. Let's just say I work with leaders and executives to create lasting change in Agile organizations. So I just want to encourage you to connect with me on LinkedIn, and let's collaborate more. Most of the people on the call today kind of know me. So of course, let's continue to collaborate. Let me start by saying the word has changed. Earlier on in 2014, 2015, in fact, earlier than that, I used to say, the world is changing, the world is changing, come on, the agile wagon. Now the world has changed, right? And we all see what is in the middle here. The COVID made a lot of things to change. We've heard a lot about COVID, so I'm not going to talk about COVID now, but I just want to tell you that things have changed a lot. For example, Netflix in the last few years added a lot of new subscribers, particularly in the first quarter of 2020 alone. They added about 16 new subscribers to their network, and they continue to grow from there. We are using Zoom at the moment. This is a company that has become a market leader when it comes to video conferencing. And of course, they grew massively during the downtime that COVID brought to us. Of course, they surpassed so many of the giants in that industry, things like GoToWebinar, things like Cisco, actually, to become great. We also have Amazon, right? Amazon that continues to become great in what they do. DoorDash and organizations like Uber Eats, they continue to remain strong. These organizations have people like you, people like me, making them become who they become, and making them stronger. Just to set the foundation, why am I eligible to talk about setting up yourself for success in the Agile world? The thing is, I also went through the same model that I'm going to share with you, and I know at least 2 other people on this call today that have gone through this model, and these are people that I respect in the industry, right? And they are doing very well. So if that's worked for me and several others, I believe it's going to be very good for you as well. So if you're here to find your path towards agility, like I said earlier on, I was once like you. I've been through that journey, right? And when I started the journey of Agile, or journey through to becoming an Agile practitioner, a few things were very clear to me. First of all, I know I just do not want to be an Agile practitioner in theory alone. I want to know the theory, but I also want to know how to apply, the Agile theory into practice. I also promised myself I was going to give it everything it takes until I find myself where I want to be. So I knew the destination, kind of have the vision of destination from the beginning, and I was ready to learn. I was ready to unlearn, and I was ready to relearn, and all that I did. Of course, the journey has been hard, but it's been rewarding. It's been very, very rewarding, and of course, I can say that based on that journey, I've been able to, deliver Agile, adoption, Agile transformation in very, very difficult terrains and several sectors, which range from energy, from telecoms, financial services. I've worked in education, in government. In fact, currently I support a non-for-profit organization, which is Australian, Red Cross. And you can see that is the opportunity that Agile has brought for me. So you too can lead your change. So you too can lead your change. You too can become successful in Agile. And as a matter of fact, I want to say it's your turn to set up yourself for success in Agile. So now, what I bring to you today are 6-step model to setting yourself up for success in Agile. Like I said earlier on, these are the things I've gone through myself, and I'm still going through anytime I want to reinvent myself. So if you apply these 6 steps, or what we call the practical steps, you can set yourself up for success in the Agile world. I also want to tell you that Agile is not only relevant to our world today, it also pays very well. So it pays when it comes to money, and it pays when it comes to application to what you do. So I'm talking about the steps I have on the screen. I'm just going to be unpacking each of them in the next few, maybe half an hour thereabout. The first step is the Agile mindset. This is very, very important. It is the foundation, right? It is a set of beliefs that shape how you and everyone in the Agile world make sense of the world around us, and also how you make sense of yourself. Training is very important. If you obtain formal training, and of course, it's important that you get certified, and at least at an entry-level Agile framework. So just set up yourself and get ready for the journey ahead. We look at applying your learning, because what is the importance of accruing all this knowledge without application? So the idea is you start from where you are and look for opportunities to apply your Agile learning. And there are so many opportunities like that. We'll talk more about that quite very soon. Mentoring. In fact, mentorship is very good. So you need to get a mentor. Volunteering is good as well. I'll talk more about that. And you need to be a lifelong learner. We will talk more about each of those. So let's start from the very, very first one, the mindset. Agile itself is a mindset. The mindset of transparency, the mindset of collaboration, the mindset of trust. It's the foundation. So if you get this foundation very, very right, if you get it right, the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. So when we talk about the mindset, what are we looking at? We're looking at, the 4 values or 12 principles that actually underpin what Agile is all about. So when you go for an Agile training or a workshop or a meetup, we talk so much about the 12 principles and the 4 values, because that is the foundation. And then there are other things that are not tangible, the things you cannot hold, you cannot really, really see. You can only feel it. Things like transparency, things like collaboration, the trust that come with it. Those are the intangible things that forms the bedrock of what Agile is built upon. Of course, we do have the right side of things, which we call the doing Agile side of things. Those are the gymnastics, the things that people see in terms of the practices, in terms of the frameworks. People will say, well, I'm doing Scrum. I'm going for my stand-up meeting. I'm doing a retrospective. People can feel it, can see it. The tools that you use, the practices that come with it, right? Those are the doing side of Agile. So we are talking about the being side, where the mindset really resides. So if you wake up in the morning and you ask yourself certain questions, what am I becoming by going to work today? What is the best use of my time today? How can I, oh, really? Can you see my screen, please? Just let me know. Someone just said my screen is not showing. Okay, Ramat said you can see my screen. So it might be, Yemi might be from your side. Okay, cool. Yeah, Yemi say, please, maybe you can join because I think people can see my screen. Thank you for that. Okay, cool. So I was just trying to really buttress the fact that Agile is a mindset. Agile is a mindset. And you need to ask yourself those questions that I did mention earlier on, earlier on. Okay, cool. So build the correct mindset, work with people that have the correct mindset, and continue to improve from there. That is the very first step. Now, let's talk about the second step, training. It is important to know what you want to practice. So it's not, I'm not trying to sell you training, but all of us here that are doing very well in the Agile space, we invest a lot in training. As a matter of fact, immediately after this course, after this training, by 7 a.m., I'm joining a training, which we have paid for. Patrick on this call, both of us are going to that, to that training. By the end of the month, I've already paid for another training, which I'm going to do. Now, training gives you the basic knowledge of what Agile is all about. It also gives you the basic understanding, or what I call the fundamental Agile concept. You understand that? Now, the promise is, no matter what level you are, no matter where you are, there is always something new to learn. There is always something new to learn. For example, if you're a rookie, if not just starting, there is something you can learn. For example, if you're like me or like Patrick or like Mary here, you that we are probably, let's call ourselves a professional or expert, if you like, we still go and seek knowledge. We still go out there and seek knowledge. Yes, Mary just said it's a never-ending journey. It's a never-ending journey, and that is true. For example, at the end of this month, I'll be learning more about Kanban. I've been teaching Kanban, I've been training Kanban for a long period of time, but there are certain things I think sitting in the class and hearing and, learning from someone that is an authorized trainer will give me certain concepts that I probably don't know about, or I know but I have not been using. So it's very important. Now, if you look at the screen, we've got the pathway for the discipline Agile training. I just want to use this to buttress the fact that no matter what level you are, there is always something for you. If you are new to the world of Agile, for example, in the DA track, right? You will be able to take what we call the DASM, Discipline Agile Scrum Master, which is an entry-level Scrum Master course, and then you will know what Agile is all about. Or if you want to have general knowledge about what the Agile practice is all about, the PMI ACP is your friend. For example, that was my very, very first Agile certification so many years ago. Of course, if you have some experience, you might want to go to DASM, or if you think, I want to go further, I want to become a coach, a discipline Agile coach, for example, then you might need to go for this. But of course, the prerequisite for this is the DASM, or at least go through the part DASM and Discipline Agile Senior Scrum Master, and then you can go for your Discipline Agile. And if you want to be like me, that you want to lead Agile transformations in large organizations, then you might want to consider doing your DAVSC, which is called the Disciplined Agile Value Stream Consultant. If you're interested to know more about this, please have a chat with me or send me an email. I will be able to take you more and give you more insight around what to do to become certified in any of this. Cool. So training is important. Look at where you are. Look at what you need. Talk or speak to someone who knows the road, who has been there. They will be able to guide you. They will be able to guide you. All right. Cool. So no matter where you are, no matter what level you are, there is always something for you. Now, point three, the third step is about applying your knowledge. Applying your knowledge. You see, as we kind of live in a projectized world. Wherever you are, whatever kind of work you do, you have the platform to start applying your knowledge. The the ask from me is start somewhere, start doing something. So start where you are. Start from where you are. Look for opportunities in your present situation. There are so many opportunities around us. When I first relocated to Australia, for example, I looked for opportunities to volunteer. And that was what was available to me at that point in time. Somewhere that I could practice, that I could apply the learnings, that I could apply what I've learned in the classroom. There are, like I said, there are several opportunities in our environment. For instance, when I got married in 2009, I used Agile to plan because that was what was available to me. And in fact, I went to my wedding as a guest because everything was sorted using that approach. I just used it. Let's practice it. And it worked very well. So every time there is something in front of you that you can use Agile for. You want to do a project in your house, practice using Agile. You want to prepare lunch with your kids, practice Agile with it. There is a lot we can do, personal agility and stuff like that. Of course, some of you are very active in your churches, in your mosque, in your social clubs. In fact, some of you are very active in the estate that you live in. And most of the time, there are projects here and there that come in there. Use it as an experiment. Experiment with it. Experiment with Agile. Pick a project, you see, and propose new ways of working where you work now. I know people that started really having a small Kanban board in front of them at work. And people were curious, oh, what's this? And then they begin to explain what they are doing. So they are applying their knowledge. They are also trying to teach other people so that they can become better version of themselves, which means sharing your knowledge is key, right? When you sit in class and workshops and meetups like this, you take everything in. When you teach, you learn more. When you teach, you learn more. Because, for example, if you have the opportunity to tell 10 people about your practice, you have just had an opportunity to hear the same thing 11 times. Because the more you tell people, you are telling yourself as well, and it's sinking into your subconscious. So it's important that you share your knowledge. And it's not that you don't have to share it on social media, for example, right? If you're not comfortable to do that, you don't have to, but have a closed group of people that you will share with, that you don't have to feel insecure with, that you can always share with. They can give you feedback. They can tell you what they learn, you know. They can tell you, give you feedback very early. They can be super positive as well, because sometimes we need that positivity. And then you need people that can be frank with you as well in terms of what they think. And then the more you do it, the better you become. So please apply your knowledge. It is quite very, very important. And start from where you are. Look for opportunities in your present situation. If you're working, look for those opportunities. If you're not working, how can you apply Agile to your personal life, personal self? You know, look for opportunities where you live, where you worship, your social clubs, and of course, pick a project for yourself. And that is step 3. Now, let's talk about step 4. This is very important. Very, very, very important. As a matter of fact, mentoring has been a proven approach that help people to achieve their potential. So when you look at mentoring, it provides mentees with support. It provides them with advice. It also go further to help you form an alliance with someone that knows the road, someone that has gone through what you're trying to go through. It gives you a form of encouragement, and of course, a kind of positive modeling. You have a model, you have a role model that you are always going to. So, like I said here, mentoring is a proven career success strategy. Most of the time, the scale and the consistency of mentoring, the outcome that you get is understated, because it is highly beneficial. It is highly beneficial. I've been part of several mentoring or mentorship programs in my career, starting from a long time ago. I had mentors. Right now, have a number of mentees. Some of them are on the call now, and I also have a mentor. Like I said, I'll be joining the call immediately after this. That is someone that I'm looking up to in the industry. Those are the people, a few people that you can go up to and ask questions, the challenges that you are going through. Oh, yeah, this is what I think I want to do. I know you've passed through it. How did you do it? And they tell you their story. Sometimes what you think is the way is actually not the way. And they can tell you because they've passed through that route before. So, and it's not just because we think mentorship is a great idea. There are studies that have backed the effectiveness of mentoring. For example, 79% of millennials believe that mentoring is critical to their success. That's a high percentage, 79%. And of course, it's been proven that managerial productivity increased by 88% when mentoring was involved. And when you compare that to only 24% when training is done alone. So I'm a certified trainer. And I know that sometimes when people go to the classroom and they sit in trainings, over time, ask them, what did you learn 6 weeks ago? What did you learn 12 weeks ago? A high percentage of what is learned has dropped somewhere. Oh, most of the time it's just resided internally in the subconscious, but it's just stayed silent there. So you wouldn't know you know it until you have the opportunity to really use it. And if the opportunity to use it doesn't arise, you don't know. Now, this is where mentors come in. Mentors can steer the water. Mentors can actually bring it up and say, ooh, this is what you learned in your 2 days discipline agile course, or PSM 1 course, or Lean and Kanban course, whatever it is. And when they tell you their story, they were telling you how they have, introduced, not only that, apply that knowledge to their day-to-day job. And that is going with this productivity, especially with managerial positions, that increased by 88%. That's high compared to 24%, which is almost negligible. This is a high percentage difference. So mentorship is important. Of course, we also know that more than 60% of college and graduate students listed that mentoring is a criteria for selecting an employer after graduation. And that is true. For me, one of the first things I ask the HR when I get a new role, or even before I get a new role, if I have the opportunity to ask, is what do they have? What model do they have for mentorship? What model do they have for mentorship? Some organizations do not have that in place. If an organization have that in place, it's good for you. And one of the first things I do is, no matter my level, the position I hold, internally, I look for people that have been there and they are successful in that organization, and I approach them to take me through certain things. They are my internal mentors. So if you want to change your role, consider asking that question. What model do you have as an organization in terms of mentorship? And of course, it is important to note that a high percentage of the people that went through mentoring in their early days go on to be mentors themselves. And so it's a cycle and it doesn't break. It contributes to the culture of learning and mentoring. I am a product of that. I have quite a number of mentees that I work with. Yesterday evening, I was still with about a group of 14 people, trying to tell them about certain things that that's important to that group, to that cohort. So mentees today becomes mentors tomorrow, and then mentors still have mentors. It's a cycle, never-ending cycle, if I can borrow that word from Mary. So my charge to you today is, please get a mentor. Now, the question is, now, how do I get a mentor? Ask, and you shall get. Because a lot of people think, I need to write a long email. I need to really, really send somebody to some people. No. It's quite easier. In my experience, 99 out of 100 people, when you approach them, especially when you have a need, they will respond to you. Worst case scenario, they will tell you, no, at this point, I'm sorry, I'm busy. But I believe that 99% of people will respond to you. If you want to test it out, look out for people on LinkedIn that you really respect and ask them for their time. Check whether they're going to respond or not. But again, I ask you, when you're seeking seeking a mentor, have something as well that you want to offer, because the mentorship journey is actually a symbiotic relationship, right? It's a give and take. What can you offer, right? I see that you have these, you can tell your mentor, I see that you have these event coming. I can help you with the, yes, two-way street. That is it, Patrick. You know, I can help you with a flyer. I know how to use Canva very well. Then you do that and you send it to him or her. Oh, you know, I see that you talk so much about human-centered design. This is a YouTube video I watched. I think it might be very good for you. Things that are very almost free, but it might be something that your mentor needs. So as it's giving to you or she is giving back to you, please find a way to give back as well. And it's also a way of forming alliance, because once you are a mentor or a mentee to someone, it's a relationship that goes on for a long, long time. Okay. Volunteering. I cannot overemphasize what is embedded in volunteering. And like I said, there are so many. Okay, cool. Before I go ahead, that's a very good one, Patrick. You treat it as an interaction between equals, a partnership of exchange. And that's true. I couldn't have put it better. That is what mentorship, mentorship partnership is all about. Give and take. So the fifth step is all about volunteering. Volunteering. What are those opportunities around you that people do not put their hands up, right? Raise your hand up for it. Give it a go. Give it a shot. In fact, sometimes people feel that I don't have experience doing this. That is why it is important for you to do some research, jump into it, you learn on the way. It's actually a good opportunity to make a mistake because you are volunteering anyways. So when you make your mistakes, you correct it and you become better. So it is an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. And there are so many opportunities around us to volunteer. Some of you probably are members of PMI, for example. Every time I open my email, there is always a VRMS, email somewhere. They need people to go to secondary school, high school, to teach those students. Sometimes it's just a support person that they need. You don't need to speak, but you are part of it. But you are hearing and listening to someone that is speaking, and then you are learning from their trade. But in doing that, don't treat it as if, yeah, I'm giving my time. No, I'm giving my energy. Do the best job you can do. Do your best to do the job well. It is very, very important. If you do your volunteering role very well, I bet you it is something that you're putting in your account. It's like depositing in your bank account. And then you will repeat when the time is right. Of course, there is also an opportunity to thrive from a volunteering opportunity. And I can tell you for free that it pays a lot. I have deliberately added this picture on this slide. Now, that was me in 2014. Excuse me. That was me in 2014, volunteering in the Scrum Australia conference. It took about 3 to 4 months to actually prepare for this and plan for the conference. People flew all around the world for this conference. And this is me with other people on that on the last day of the conference. All of us are volunteers. That was 2014. Well, I made connection with everybody, we talk, and in 2021, end of 2021, this lady, by the right, was hiring for a role. I didn't know. I happened to say, I like this role. And turns out that she went on my LinkedIn profile, and there she saw this she saw this picture, the picture we took together. She was volunteering, I was volunteering. Now, and of course, because we caught up afterwards, she knew who I was. Now, it is me preparing myself. Of course, she knows what I could offer. She has seen my work ethics. That during the conference, although it was volunteering, I did my best job. Because we caught up afterwards, we discussed, she also knew that I have the experience. She also knows that I can be selfless because I raised up my hands when other people did not. And so what led to that is, of course, I still went through the charts, met other people. In fact, she wasn't in my interview because, of course, that's not okay. But she knows if there's someone that could vouch for how professional and knowledgeable I was, that is someone that we have worked on the volunteering, event together. Now look at it. 2014, 2021, 2022. And you can see that whatever you do in the world of volunteering, even if it doesn't lead to a job like myself, it's something that goes into your account and you can cash out when either by adding to your knowledge, meeting good people, finding mentors, forming alliances, You could even start a company by people that you meet in those places that have the same mindset as you. So please, when no one else is putting their hands up, please put your hands up. Volunteering for tasks that others do not want to do are great opportunities to thrive. Please embrace it. Please embrace it. And of course, as Patrick said, the unexpected observer will notice your effort and it could become an opportunity for you. It also helps you to build character and learn to support others. Of course, that is so on point. Servant leadership, that is what we have as Agile practitioners. We are true leaders, we are servant leaders. Okay, so I hope you'll be looking for those opportunities to volunteer and raise your hand up, or raising your hand up, and you'll be good. For example, the Agile Nigerian Conference is coming up. You guys that are in Nigeria, the Agile Nigerian Conference is coming up in March 1st and 2nd. They will be needing a lot. They'll be needing people to volunteer there, right? And guess what? You don't get to pay a lot of money for the conference. Although you'll be busy, but you can still attend. For example, this conference, it was free for me because I was volunteering, but see what I read at the end of the day. So you can approach the organizers, tell them you're from me, and then you'll be able to partake in that. Lastly, let's talk about lifelong learning. I cannot tell you much more than this. I've mentioned it earlier on. We are continuously learning. Mary has said it. Patrick has said it. I am saying it again. It's an ongoing, voluntary, and self-motivating pursuit of knowledge. It's never ending. Because when you stop learning, you become a dinosaur. You go into extinction. And so it's just about developing the continuous learning culture and become the best learner, right? Continuous learner. For me, every September, I put up my continuous learning calendar. What do I want to learn in the next 1 year? Based on where I am now. And I roll it out, I put it down. Of course, you know that in this time and age, you need to continuously adapt because the rate of change is high. The illiterate of the 21st century is not someone who cannot read or write. It is that person that cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Sometimes you need to bring what you know, put it down and learn something else because the world is changing, the market is changing, the market forces are actually changing. And you need to become a T-shaped professional. In fact, we are talking about X-shaped professional these days, right? You should have the depth of knowledge in a particular area, and you should have the breadth of knowledge, being able to survive in any terrain, being able to raise your hand up and say, I can help out. It is when you become a lifelong learner that you can always get to that. In my career, I've pivoted so many times. I've been in education, I've been in telecoms, in IT, in government, consulting, non-for-profit, medical, banking. It's when you can learn, unlearn and relearn that you can always do this. But of course, the world of Agile is helping me to stay afloat and, and get the best of all this. So real learning is at the heart of what it takes to be a human being. Because when we learn, we recreate ourselves, we become, something or someone that we were not able to become naturally. Because we have learned, we become that person. Of course, we are also able to perceive the world around us. We are able to form relationships with people and with the world of work. Your capacity increases, your capability increases as well. And of course, you become, a learning practitioner. You become committed to relentless improvement. And of course, the world of work today needs people with a culture of innovation. You can't be that person with a culture of innovation if you're not a continuous learner. Knowing fully well that the pace of change, the pace of technology innovation is exponentially changing. If you want to catch up with it, you need to learn, build the knowledge, build a breadth of knowledge in multiple Agile frameworks, and then you become better. It's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle. Okay, so let's quickly go through it. We have about 10 minutes to go out of here. And like I said, just to take you through the 6-step model, the mindset, the training, the application of that learning, the mentorship that comes with it, the volunteering, and of course, lifelong learning. Those are the 6 steps. I've gone through these steps and I'm still going through it. If you go through it, definitely you will become a better version of yourself. And then you can definitely set yourself up for success in the Agile world. All right. Now, permit me to really take you through some of the offers. Currently, we are running, an Agile bootcamp from that's from Pete Lauren Consulting. One is currently ongoing. We had a session yesterday, and then we are continuing tomorrow. So if you are interested in that, please just send an email to page@petelaurenconsulting.com.au and to get more information about that. To get more information about that will be good. I'm happy to really give you more information about that. And of course, if you're from Africa and you reside in Africa, let me put it up. If you reside in Africa, please get to me. Happy to work out some very, very massive discount for you, because it's all about giving back. And then this might be a good opportunity for you. Get to me. And I just want to let you know that we're not just doing this. I've learned from some of the people even on the call today. Mary is just amazing. I learned a lot from her. Patrick is so amazing. I learned a lot from her. These are things that they have done. And Mary will let you know, Patrick will let you know that when we get testimonials like this, it gives us joy. These are some of the people that have gone through that bootcamp. And for example, this is telling me that, yeah, he has 3 interviews in one day, right? Good organizations. And I can tell you that this person got one of those roles. He has to choose which he wants after finishing, right? These are some of them tells me how they get a role after going through that bootcamp, because it's a journey, right? Of course, there's another one. The list goes on and on. If we want to if I want to compile the list of messages or audio calls that I get, we'll be here for hours. So just want to tell you that works. That works. Of course, we also have the Discipline Agile track, because I am an ATP instructor, authorized training partner instructor, and the Pete Lauren Consulting is also an authorized training partner with PMI. If you want to start your journey in the Discipline Agile track, you can also send an email with probably Discipline Agile as a topic, and then send it to me. There is one coming up on February 21 and 22nd this year. You can take part in that if you are opportune. But of course, by all means, let's have a chat. Again, if you reside in Africa and you're a member of this meetup, we can have a special discount for you. Now, before I go ahead, I want to pause here. Is there any question based on what we have discussed today. This is what we have discussed today. Any question? All right, yeah, it's quite, I think it's more of an action for us, action point for most people on the call today. I just wanted to take action about all these 6 steps because that will be great. Now, one thing I want to share with us is February meetup. We already have Orod. Orod is one of the people I respect so much here in Australia. She's a Kanban trainer. He is a Kanban trainer, I mean, and he's going to come up to tell us more about the challenges with Scrum and can Kanban be an alternative. So you can register for this one. This is going to come up on February 15th. That's in a month's time. So if you can pick up your phone and scan here, it will take you straight away to the registration code. Of course, more information about that will be sent across to us in due time, but you can take the opportunity to scan it today and register so that you know you've registered, and by 15th of February will be available to go through that session. All right, great. And if you want to catch up, like I said, please send me an email, book a time on my calendar, and then we will take it from there. And I can say on this note, we are going to close this meetup for today. I believe you've actually learned 1 or 2 things from today's session. It's going to be more practical going forward. I know this is the beginning of the year. A lot of people have extended holidays. A lot of people are just going back to work. There are a lot. Okay. Oh, Yedika, you're not able. Okay, cool. I will send an email. Definitely, I will send an email after this session. And of course, you will get the details there. You will get the details there, just the way you got the details of this one. So don't worry, on Yedika, you'll be able to get that. All right. So thank you, everyone. It's a very wonderful time spent together again today. I'll be looking forward to seeing you again next month, and it promises to be practical because that's what we promised. But please take action on the six steps. The video for recording for this will be up latest by tomorrow, and so you can go through over it again. You can watch it on the YouTube channel, and that will be great. So until we meet again, this time next week, 3rd Wednesday of next month, I mean, I look forward to having you then. And let's get in touch if you have any questions. We are always happy to support you. Thank you for your time. Have a good one. Bye for now.